According to what's in my adoption records, I was found abandoned at the gate of the Social Welfare Institute by Nan En Police Station on April 5th, 2000, with my biological parents or other relatives unknown. And they are still unknown. Hi, welcome. Today I will be telling you guys about my adoption story. I'm going to start by giving you guys a little bit of context about what was happening in China regarding the one-child policy. During the 1970s, China's government was concerned about the rapid growth of the population and wanted to find a way to slow it down. They asked their citizens to marry later and try spacing out their births, in addition to the one-child policy, which was imposed in 1980. If a family had more than one child, they could be forced to have an abortion and or be forcefully sterilized. There were exceptions to this policy for ethnic minorities and for those in rural communities whose first child was a girl. This is because China's culture tends to favor sons. This meant that girls may not have been registered, they may have been abandoned, neglected, or worse. As the years went on with this policy, they started having the opposite problem: not enough population growth. This is because the amount of boys began to outnumber the amount of girls, and it also cost a lot to have a child. Because of this, the limit was raised to 2 children in 2015, and in May of 2021, it was raised again to 3 children, and in June they fully removed it, along with financial incentives to have children. It is highly likely that this policy contributed to me being put up for adoption. According to what's in my adoption records, I was found abandoned at the gate of the Social Welfare Institute by Nan En Police Station on April 5th, 2000, with my biological parents or other relatives unknown. And they are still unknown, so I don't know the situation my biological parents were in or anything about that. And I might never know. Interestingly, they have my birthday as April 3rd, which is 2 days before the day I was found. So they likely guessed how old I was. So I might have been born on the 2nd, maybe the 4th, who knows. My finding ad was published on July 29th, 2000 in the Guangdong Security News. I then lived with the caretakers at the Social Welfare Institute in Yangzheng until I was adopted. While I was there, my name was Fuyin Yang. In Chinese, the word order would be Yang Fuyin. They put the surname first and then the given name after. My parents were eventually matched with me and received a referral for my adoption on January 24th, 2001. They also got some basic medical information as well as updates on my development. I have some notes on those right here, so I'll just read them real quick. She was abandoned for unknown reason and brought in the institute on April 5th, 2000. We have taken great care of her and given her vaccination on time. We gave her apple and carrot soup as supplement after 3 months. When she was 2 months old, she could laugh and suck her finagles. They meant fingers. At her 3 months, she could hold her head up and her eyes would follow things moving. At her 4 months, when she was belly down, she could use her hands to push up. She would try to search for new things and sounds. Now she can lie down in all different positions. She could lift her body up when she is face down and stare forward. She could grip things she wanted. She is active and cries a lot. She is not obedient. She likes to sit in the walker. She could hold bottle to feed herself. She eats 280 milliliters of Huaishan rice cereal plus Jinding formula 4 times a day. She develops normal. I'm really glad I have these little notes on my development from before I was adopted, because I can't ask my parents about what I was doing before I was 1 because they weren't there. And I have no idea how I would ask the people that were there. So it's nice to have this little bit of information. My parents and I finally met for the first time on March 5th, 2001, when I was 11 months old. We then all stayed in China until the paperwork was done, and then they brought me home. My parents have always told me that I am adopted, and I would have found out eventually, even if they didn't, because we're different ethnicities. I think the fact that I've always known that I'm adopted has helped me a lot, because I've always had a basic understanding of what my situation is, but it's frustrating that there are things that they aren't able to tell me. All we can do is guess based on the information that we have from the adoption paperwork and what we know about the one-child policy. So I kind of just have to accept that there are things I might never know about my birth family or their circumstances. There's nothing anybody can do to change the situation at this point, so I don't really get too caught up in thinking about it all that much. It would just be nice to know some things. Okay, that's all for today. Let me know if you have any questions or anything. If you'd like to learn more about my journey post-adoption, then like and subscribe so that you get a notification whenever I post. Bye!